So, about our joint Tesla. How are we gonna decipher the weeks in which one of us gets the Tesla we're sharing?
Well, I mean, it all depends on what that person's doing that certain week. Like, if you have something important, you got to pull up in the Tesla. You got to flex. Be like, yeah, I have a Tesla. Were you driving it? No, it was driving itself. I was in the passenger seat.
Hi, and welcome back to Young and Terrified. I am your host, Kati Somayan, as always, and it is the 4th ever episode of Young and Terrified with my boy, Clayton. Clayton, hi.
Hey.
How have your past 24 hours been?
24 hours. All right. It consisted of me not wanting to be at school at all, struggling through my religion quiz, and getting home and just playing video games the entire night because I don't have anything else to do. But for the most part, it's been okay.
Been okay? That sounds like a typical day for you. Struggling casually through a religion quiz.
And just not wanting to be in school. But during the week, I can't play, like, at all because of APUSH, my AP
Really?
history. Oh, my. He usually gives us, like an 8 or 9 page worksheet to do. But this week, he gave us an 18-page worksheet to do.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
And, it hurt my hand. So, so I had to do that, and that was just absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
Horrific.
it's like kind of ridiculous, like how much work they put us through. It's like, yeah, it's a college class, but still, we're what? Like,
I'm like 4.
Hi, my name's Clayton. I'm 4 years old.
I'm 4 years old. No, but like, I'm there. Like sometimes I'm like there studying for the class, or I'm there like doing the assignments, and I'm just like, why did I ever take this? I'm like, I was supposed to be in honors. Why did I force myself to take AP? And then I was thinking about like, cause like next year I want to do football, so I was like, the only AP class I have next year is English, and Ashley was like, no, you got AP history again. I'm like,
Oh God.
I'm dropping honors. I cannot deal with that. There's no way I'm putting myself through. So I don't think I'd be able to do that. So I think I'm just gonna drop down to honors and just pace myself because like there's no way I'd be ever to do it again. Just no.
Well, we're gonna get on to the show. Okay, so Clayton, when I proposed the podcast to you, I had so many ideas. There are so many things that I want to talk about, and I've narrowed it down into a few, and one of those few is you play Battlefront a lot, and
All the time.
did you hear about that thing that happened this week with EA and?
Don't even get me started with that.
What are your opinions?
Okay,
I need to know.
Okay, so like Battlefront isn't my main game. It's mostly Call of Duty, but I love Battlefront, like, because I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I love Battlefront so much. I was excited for Battlefront 2, but I could only choose one, COD or Battlefront. So I got COD, and I'm going to get Battlefront at some point later. And people who pre-ordered it pre-ordered like the most expensive one, got it like 4 days earlier, right? And so that's how everybody found out that you have to pay to get the most amazing characters, like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, all the legendary characters. You have to pay for them, and it's ridiculous. And it's so funny because they're like, oh, okay, we're listening, we hear you, we're going to cut the prices by 75%. But they didn't mention that they're also cutting the amount of points you're getting by 75%.
It's so ridiculous.
It was so funny. And they just beat the world record for the most downvotes.
Yeah, it just was like
it was so funny.
The record for it's the most downvoted post on Reddit ever.
It was like before this came up, it was like 60,000 downvotes, and then when this came up, it's like at 600,000 downvotes.
I added to that downvote chain. I find it so ridiculous that they had the audacity to release a broken game, an incomplete game, and then force people
to pay.
To buy more stuff after paying like $70.
It's terrible. And like when you finish the campaign, you're supposed to get like 20,000 credits, and that's enough to get Iden Versio. But when they dropped everything down by 75%, you only got 5,000 at the end.
Ooh.
And it was like, oh, wow. And I find it so funny. They're like, we're listening to you guys, so we're just going to take it all out. And everyone's like, yeah. It's like, but we're not going to forget about this. Just cannot.
Just the corporate greed of that is EA and like has been forever. And like,
oh, yeah.
I don't even play games, but obviously you're my friend, you play games. My brother plays games, and I'm just surrounded by it because it's such a big part of culture that I see something like this. I'm like, this is gatekeeping for people who aren't sure if they want to really commit to this. They'd be like, oh, I don't want to spend all this money on something that I don't know if I'm really, really going to enjoy. Yeah. So it, like, let's say if I wanted to really get into it, I would have to drop a lot of money just to attempt and then realize, oh, I don't like it. And then it sucks a lot.
Yeah, games like that, the term that like people use is called pay to win. And it's whoever has the most money buys whatever they want. They have the best things. They win. That's how it works. And most games try to avoid that because that just sucks because it doesn't like give everyone like the fair advantage of the playing field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for that, like people would have to, like you said, they drop like $70 just to the game itself, and then like all the early access stuff, and then you have to go in there and you have to pay for the microtransactions, the coins to get it, and it's just terrible. And like whoever has the money is obviously going to be able to get it, and they're going to be better than everybody because they have the best things.
Yeah, it allows for a kind of classism within the game.
Kind of.
Yeah, and I don't know, like as someone who's young and trying to like bring in the money for that as well as other things, like how does that affect you?
It affects me a lot because like there's so many things that I want that I have to like pretty much prioritize. I don't have the luxury to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get this first and then I'm going to get that. I can't do that. I have to prioritize. I have to be like, I can only get this. Like, you get what I mean? Like, for example, I've always wanted a gaming PC, but those things are mad expensive. Like, they're like $300 and more. And like a $300 one is like a really bad one. So there's no way I'm spending my money on that. You have to get a good one. You get what I mean? And then I'm like, all right, Clayton, let's think about this. Let's talk to ourselves for a little bit.
This is like has like a council of like yourself.
Just a council of myself. And I'm like, all right, let's think. You're going to college soon. Are you really going to take that PC, your monitor, and everything to college? And it's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, you're going to play with it for like a year and a half before you have to leave. So I've been looking at them because, you know, I like doing that to myself. Window shopping, you know. I do all the customizations, all that stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You ever do that with cars and stuff?
Exactly. Of course I've done it.
And I did that, and then it ended up costing like $600 or something, right? Fully everything. And I'm like, for $600 and a little bit of more money, Clayton, you could buy an amazing camera. And I'm like,
yeah, which is another hobby you have. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, you can take the camera to college. You could take some bomb photos. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just save up all the money I get for Christmas and for my birthday. I'm start selling a bunch of random stuff in my room to get more money. And then as a side, my dad, I don't know if you know, but like me and my dad have a bunch of shoes. Like we have like over 100 pairs of shoes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're really obsessed with shoes, and we don't wear most of them, and some of them we don't like anymore, and some of them,
oh my God,
it's like, oh, I don't like you anymore. I'm gonna sell you, and so that's what it is. We're gonna start selling them, and my dad wants me to sell them so I can kind of get a grasp of how to make profit.
All right. Yeah.
And he told me, hey, just sell the shoes at retail price. I'm like, retail? I'm like, what about profit? He's like, no, I just want my money back. So I'm like,
whoa. Is this the Gary Vee podcast?
I'm like, Dad, what do you mean sell it just retail price? I'm like, you know what? Okay, Dad, I'll sell the retail price. Little does he know, I'm going to sell the shoes for like an extra $50.
Oof.
Keep the 50 for me and I'll give him the rest. Hey,
Oh.
And so as I do that, I hopefully will get enough. And then that'll give me like, I don't know how much money that'll give me, but that'll give me a good amount. And the camera I have right now is pretty old. It's been a valiant warrior with me. Dropped it, fought with it many times. But I can sell that for like a good $500 or something.
Oh,
and
wow.
Add everything up, and I can get myself a nice camera because I've really wanted a nice camera for so long. So long I wanted a nice camera.
And we're on the topic of like your passion about photography because you're amazing. Thank you. I'll probably find a way to put in the show notes like maybe some stuff you've done. But how did you get into photography?
How did I get it? Okay, okay. I've always liked photography, and I've always liked cinematography, just anything that has to do with a camera, actually, because I don't know, like I just like how people can capture something so like beautiful and just so like awe-inspiring in just one click. Like, come on, like you can capture an entire culture in just one photo, and you don't even have to explain anything. You know what I mean? And so I've always liked that. And then like in like movies and stuff, I like that too. Like slow-mo shots and like certain angles that these people use. I always loved that too. And then I don't know what happened, but all I know is that in beginning of freshman year, I was really into it, like hardcore into photography. And I'm like, I need a camera. So I started looking around, and then I found like this intro camera, quote unquote, or whatever. It was like a really bad camera. It was like $200 or something.
Oh wow, that's ludicrously cheap.
Exactly. It was like $200. It was like an intro camera. It was a good camera though. Can't lie. I think I still have it actually. It's still in my house. It's just there collecting dust. That's one of the things I gotta saw. And we looked at it, and then my dad was like, "Okay, I'll do my reviews on it, whatever, see what I can." And then I remember it was the week. Was it the week of my birthday? I think it was. Or like the week of Christmas or something, he, out of nowhere, we pulled up at Best Buy. He's like, "We're buying it." I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, "All right, Dad, thank you." And just from there, I've been taking pictures with that since freshman year. I started, and slowly but surely, I learned things, and I found like what kind of photography I like and stuff. Like I remember I used to just tinker with a camera, man. I just like press every single button, try to figure out what everything does, and then I took the photography class, which like kind of reinforced that even more.
Yeah, that's actually around the time where we met. It was last year when you were like all the time with your camera. It was like you were attached to the hip with your camera, and like every moment, I think of sophomore year, there was a picture for it, for sure.
I don't know. I just like I remember when I first got into photography, not freshman year photography, but like sophomore year photography. I was really into macro photography, which is like super up close, tiny pictures of things. I used to love that, right? But those lenses are like $500, and I was like, whoa, okay, let's find another hobby. And I was like, I really got into that, but then I took Miss Wildenberg's photography class, and that changed my outlook in everything. I started liking taking pictures of people. Like, just, it could be portrait, it could just be a group, anything. I love that because I liked capturing people's, like, emotions and, like, candid moments and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. And then I just like taking pictures of everything, to be honest. But if I had to choose one thing I could take pictures of my entire life, it'd probably be people. Because, like, somebody's face and what they're wearing and the way they look can just capture an entire, like, century or, like, an entire culture. Because, like, I can take a picture of you now and, like, the way you're dressed. And, like, maybe, like, 50 years later, people are going to be like, whoa, that's how people dressed back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I love it.
Yeah. Actually, I was reading a post the other day. Apparently, color photography was a thing in like the mid 1800s. It was just the reason why everything looks black and white, like all pictures black and white, is because color picture was extremely expensive. So I was looking through these pictures, and like it was a Russian photographer, and oh my god, like this like kind of just like a part of me was just like, wow, like that's crazy that color, like it's hard to fathom in your head that, oh yeah, color existed before 1950. Like, because
like the color TV didn't come out until like the 20th century or whatever, like early 1900s or whatever. And yeah, man. And like you think about it and they had color back then, but like nobody used it because it was so expensive.
Yeah, like when you think about the past, you think in black and white.
Yeah.
But seeing these pictures, it looked like they could have been taken 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
Because it was such good quality, and the prints were amazing quality. So yeah, and it's really cool like how you're into like taking pictures of people's emotions, so kind of like a unconcrete, like a non-concrete thing, like you try to visualize it.
And like the thing is that like you see somebody's emotion in a photo, and you kind of like they could be like have a serious face, right? But you don't know if like that picture was taken because they were mad and that serious face is on there because they were mad, or if that they posed for that, or whatever it is, and maybe they just have a naturally angry face. So I don't know. Like I love photography because it's art. Art in general is what's the word? Forgot the phrase. Art is...
That in itself is poetry. You can't think of a word to describe art.
Art is up to interpretation. There we go. And like just like paintings and stuff, those are like a lot of interpretations. And then like photography, you can make interpretations too. Like if you take pictures of something like pretty political, you know what I mean?
Yeah. At Savannah College of the Arts and Design, hit us up.
Yeah, Scad, please, man, full ride. I'll take pictures of everything.
It's such a pretty campus.
I wish I could go at some point.
Okay, so another thing I want to ask you about, which you are extremely into, Rich Chigga. You knew I was going to bring this up. I would not have left without bringing this up.
I knew it, yeah.
So, okay. So, you're very into this new wave of SoundCloud rappers, which I find super interesting culturally. Specifically, I think the most interesting case is Rich Chigga is a Indonesian rapper, and he just turned 18, and he's blowing up.
Yeah. And, okay, I love the fact that these SoundCloud rappers are just blowing up because, like, when I first got into the wave of all these rappers and stuff was, like, Vine.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
wow.
7th, 8th, 9th, like, 8th and 9th grade. Because 7th grade Vine was all those cringy, funny videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 8th grade and 9th grade is when, like, when I first found out about anime editing sounds super dweebish, man. But hey, I don't care. I like anime. They made edits out of it. Super cool, man. And so they used SoundCloud rappers in their music, and I was like, oh, okay, this is awesome, you know. And so that's when I slowly started getting into that wave, and ever since then I've been listening to them, and to watch them go from only people in the Vine community knowing who they are,
yeah,
to literally if you mention their name now, everybody knows who they are. It's just so crazy. Like Rich Chigga, for example, my man. I've been following him for so long. I remember the first time. It was 9th grade during the summer or something. I forgot when it was. But I was on YouTube. I'm just going through my videos, whatever. And this video pops like reacting to Rich Chigga. I'm like, who dat? That sounds...
Who dat?
I'm like, that sounds funny. I want to see it. So I clicked on it, and it's a bunch of rappers reacting to this Indonesian kid with a fanny pack, acting like a gangster, just holding up guns and stuff. Rap. And everyone was like at first like commenting what he was wearing. He was wearing shorts, a pink polo, and a fanny pack.
Yeah, not only that, he was also carrying like a bottle of like Hennessy, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. He was holding a bottle of alcohol. Everyone's like, this kid looks ridiculous. He opened his mouth. He just spit straight fire. And I'm like, no, he murdered that beat. I'm like, who is this? I'm like, who is this kid? Rich Chigga. I'm like, all right, okay. And I did my research. I'm like, he only had one song. And it was that one. It was That Stick. I'm like, how dare you give me one song? And I did more research, and he had one song before That Stick that wasn't popular. It was his first song ever. It's called Living the Dream.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
It's amazing. And it's him rapping as if he already made it. And at the end, he's like, everything I said in this song isn't true. It's just a dream. And it's amazing. It's a good song. And then That's It came, and I'm like, oh, the song's amazing. I'm telling you, the next day or something, I was like, guys, you see this little Asian kid? I'm like, he is the one. He is
the chosen one.
You could ask Nick, Emma, everybody that was there. I've been literally saying, I showed them the video. I'm like, he is the one. Like, he's gonna blow up, and you guys are gonna remember me when he does. All right. And he just started dropping more and more and more music.
Oh my God.
And now he's touring all over the world. He's in Europe right now, I think.
Yeah, no, he's in Europe. And about touring, so you went to see him.
Oh, don't. Oh.
Yes, I do want to. Yes, you went to see him.
Yeah.
And I was going to go, but unfortunately I couldn't. But something happened during this concert that when I saw this, I flipped out. I'm like, no, because everyone was like freak out, like, oh my God, Clayton went to Brazil, like this happened. I'm like, wait, what happened? Because I know you'd gone, and like I was hyped for you for going.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what had happened. And go ahead, tell the story.
All right. So I think it was the day before the concert, or it was the day of the concert. I had woken up or something, and I saw a video of him, and he's on stage, and he's just on his phone or whatever. He's like on the mic, he's like whatever, he's just talking, and he's like, shut up, I'm gonna call your dad. And I'm like, that is hilarious. And then whatever, I got like to the concert like 2 hours earlier, and I have to wait 2 hours to get in, and then maybe like another 2 or 3 hours to wait for him to actually perform. So I was beat. And he came out with Back at It, and I'm like, whoa, calm down. I went crazy. I lost it. I'm screaming. I'm going crazy. And I'm like, call my dad. And he doesn't hear me, right? Because he started talking. People started talking over me. And I'm like, y'all need to shut up because I need him to call my dad. And whatever, he played another song, and then he paused for 1 second.
Oh.
Just once. I was waiting for that 1 second that he just stopped. And I'm like, my dad wants to talk to you. And he's like, what? And I'm like, can you call my dad? And he's like, sure. And I'm like, and everybody started laughing.
For those listening, Clint just grasped his face, his cheek, and just went back in the
It was, oh my God. I was shaking. He said yes, and I was like, yeah, where's dad on my phone? I can't find it. And I'm like, yeah, here. And I give it to him, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to try to imitate you. And I'm like, please do. He called, they were waiting, and he's like, shh. Everyone's like, shh. And I put it on speaker. You just hear it on the speaker. You hear he's like, Dad? And then he's like, yes. He's like, I love you, Dad. And then my dad's like, this isn't Clayton.
Oh my God.
And then Rich Chigga's like, I don't think your dad loves you, man. Because when he said I love you, my dad took like a long pause to respond. And that was the highlight of my life. He held my phone and talked to my dad. Never get over that. Never get over that.
And he retweeted it, like the video.
And he retweeted it. I posted it, right? And I was like, please notice this. please notice this. Well, he did. Like, when I woke up the next day, I had posted it. It was like, I woke up to like, it was like a little bit of notifications. I was like, okay, we're getting some type of progress, right? And then on Twitter, you see the little notification things. It's like 20. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I click on it. I refresh. Oh, sorry. I actually click on the actual post. There was already like 5,000 retweets and like 2,000 and something likes. And I'm like, he has to have retweeted it. And I click on his profile and he retweeted it. And I was like,
oh my God.
This is we're practically best friends now.
Yeah, no, remembering when you're famous.
Exactly.
Remember to shout out Young and Terrified. When you're famous, you know.
Yeah, like,
you really need that promo.
Listen to Young and Terrified.
Wow, you almost forgot it.
I almost said Young and Famous. I don't know why.
I'm gonna be young and famous when you get young and famous.
But that is the highlight of my life.
Okay, we're gonna take a little break and we'll be back. Hey guys, it's Kati Somayan, your humble host, back again this week with your housekeeping. First off, as always, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And if you'd like to reach out to us, we have a Twitter at Young and Terrified. You can talk to us, tweet at us, look at our amazing tweets. It's a great place. Let's be social. Second, if you're on iTunes, we have a YouTube. On there, you can subscribe to the podcast to find out when it happens, and you can like it and just all that fun stuff. Comment something cool, comment something nice, comment something about the episode. If you're on YouTube, we have an iTunes, and there you can subscribe and edit it, and wait, you can rate. And if you give a great rating, just imagine me high-fiving you in your head. I know, sounds awesome, right? Exactly. So, ratings help out so much on a new podcast like this, and I couldn't thank you enough if you did it. So, thank you to Clayton, and thank you to all you guys for listening, and we're gonna be back right now. Okay, so we're back, and I think something we failed to mention while we were talking about Rich Chigga is that you have a little pupper.
My pup, yeah.
What's his name?
Chigga. Not Rich, because he's broke, because I'm broke, so we're both broke. So
Chigga.
He's just Chigga. He's just my little pupper. 5 months.
Yeah, just shout out to the actual Rich Chigga. This person has a dog named after you.
Yeah, I named my entire dog after you. Retweet me again. Like the podcast. I don't know. Do something. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go into every episode. I ask every guest a hypothetical question, different each time, usually pertaining to the type of person they are and just stuff like that. So, the hypothetical question I'm asking you is, there is a show that we both like called Terrace House. It is a Japanese reality TV show that's like Big Brother meets The Bachelor. And the whole premise of it is that it's like 3 girls and 3 guys live in a terrace house together, and you just see them live.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's great, and it's on Netflix.
Go watch it. It's amazing. Boys and girls in the city, though, not Aloha State.
I have emotions about Aloha State. It's coming back so soon.
Oh, right. I forgot. I can't wait. I can't wait. And they're bringing it back to Japan.
They need to. They do. So that show speaks to my weeb soul. But what I want to ask you is, so imagine you're a producer at Terrace House, and there's like a celebrity season of Terrace House.
Celebrity. Okay.
Who would you bring in? Regardless, they don't have to be Japanese. Like, they don't have to speak the Japans.
The Japans. All right. Celebrity Terrace House. Anybody. Okay.
And also remember that Terrace House involves like relationships and dating and just all. It's a very fun show. There was a
Right.
meat incident.
Meat boy
Oh,
crying over his
Uchi forever.
meat.
Uchi.
Just go cut some hair or something. I don't know. Wow. Okay. We're always gonna throw Rich Chigga in that, obviously.
Okay, so we have one guy. It's Rich Chigga.
All right. Okay, let's see. I would love to see Zach Galifianakis.
Really?
He's one of my favorite comedians. I love Zach Galifianakis.
I feel like he'd end up being what Tap ended up being. Tap. That's not his real name on the show, but there's this guy that tap dances and he chastises people about their dreams. It's so funny. I feel like he chastises people on their dreams.
Seems like Zach. And then let's put Joji in there.
Oh yes, Joji.
That way we could have, friendships make, because they're already friends. So
Yeah.
they'd be friends. And then we'd have Zach Galifianakis just really awkwardly there, like the only American.
I feel like Joji's the best of both worlds because I feel Joji, who's a creator of the channel Filthy Frank, if you haven't seen it and you have a strong stomach, go watch it.
Yes, please. You will literally laugh.
Yeah, and you can't be so serious about things with his stuff, but he's a comedian / music producer and just artist in general, and he's coming up in the world, and I'm so happy for him.
Yes.
So yeah, the three guys are Rich Chigga, Zach Galifianakis. That's his name. Yeah, and Joji. 3 girls.
That's hard.
You can bring people back from the show, I guess. I mean,
I want to make it really awkward.
okay.
So let's just throw Nicki Minaj in there. Why not, man? Oh my, Betty White.
No.
Yes. Betty White. For Nicki Minaj, Betty White, and what's that lady from the dog commercials?
Wait, which dog commercials?
The sad ones.
No.
Arm
no.
of the Angels lady. Wait, her or Celine Dion? Because I love Celine Dion.
Oh my god.
So take your pick. It's Sad Pupper Girl.
I love how all the women have skew older. While all the guys are either they vary from late teens to 20s to I think early 30s.
It's just such a variation of ages. So we got Nicki Minaj, Betty White, and I'm gonna go Sad Pupper Girl, whatever her name is.
I feel like Betty White and Nicki Minaj would tag team. And my 1-2 pairing on the show would be Nicki Minaj and Joji. Or Sad Pupper Girl with Joji.
Yeah, because Joji's a sad, non-pupper boy. He's just sad. So they'll relate, be like, donate to my puppies. Big donate to my heart.
That would be one of his lyrics. Donate to my heart.
Please, thank you.
Nice jazz chord in the background.
God. But, yeah, I wanted to make that very ridiculous. So there you go, because that sounds horrible.
Just let's make it a Terrace House producer now. Let's what are we doing? Gotta go to Japan.
Just gotta be like, bonjour, hey, this is my idea. Please make it happen. Thanks. Here's some manga. As a parting gift.
Well, we're heading up on the end of the podcast, and I'd like to thank you a whole lot for being on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it has honestly been a pleasure. Talked about a lot of things. We've gone deep in the photography world, and we're at Rich Chigga.
Yes, at Rich Chigga. Please notice me again. Thank you.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, I do this every time. Where do you see yourself 10, 20 years in the future?
That's a scary thought. And it's something I was thinking about actually maybe like a week or two ago, because like I've been knowing that I want to do business, because business is such a good thing, man. You just got to know how business works, and you just go in, right? And that was my mindset, like all the way until like last week. I was like, I got this. I'm just gonna study business. I'm gonna be fine. Learn all this stuff. Get into it. You get what I mean? But then I started thinking, I don't know why, but I started doubting. I'm like, just having a business major and going out into the real world, you don't really have a solidified place to go. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
for example, like let's say if I majored in photography, I know exactly where to go. Photography agencies. You know what I mean? I look for people who have those businesses that need photographers and stuff like that. I'd go to those, but I don't. Where does a businessman just recently graduate go?
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about being a stockbroker.
Really?
Because I like stocks. Stocks are crazy and they're fun. And
Really? Oh my God, I've actually never heard of you saying this before.
because I love stocks. I check stocks all the time. Sounds boring, but it's fun for me. and 10 to 20 years in the future, I don't know. I see myself doing something that I love, you know, whether it's business or stocks or whatever it is, because I know myself and I know I'm not going to put myself through something I do not like. I'm not going to spend my time doing something I don't enjoy, because the only thing I do that I don't enjoy is school, and I have to do that because I need the education. But knowing me, I'm not going to put up with that in the future. So I feel like 10 to 20 years in the future, I'm going to be doing something that I love, making money at it, and just being happy, man. Because, like, life's been tough.
It has.
Exactly. So, you know, hopefully 10 to 20 years in the future, I come to terms with everything. And I'm just chilling at home with my dog, making money.
That sounds amazing. Like, specifically the whole happiness bit, because we often forget about the whole being happy part, because everyone's like, oh, I want to do this, that, this, and then you overcrowd yourself, and like you put far too much in your plate, and you realize you've left nothing for yourself.
Exactly.
And you're like, how did this happen?
Oh, yeah, because people always got to account for that kind of stuff. You always got to account for, yeah, you got to pursue your dreams and you got to go at it without, you know, stopping. But at the same time, you got to sometimes sit back and just, you know, just take a break, you know, take care of yourself. And that's probably one of the most important things, taking care of yourself. Because if you do all these things, you know, just force yourself into like one thing, like for example, me, it's business, or your graphic designs, and you just go. Yeah, you're fulfilling your dreams, but you don't have time to be happy about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you for actually that explanation, because honestly, that's some insight. That really is some insight.
Thanks.
Once again, to everyone out there, if you want to subscribe to the podcast on either YouTube or iTunes, words, you can do that. You can also give us a rating on iTunes. It gets us visible.
Yes.
So, yeah, go do that. And Clayton, thank you once more
Thank
for like
you.
the 44th time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.